The Pro Bowl is supposed to be relaxed. It's the weekend where stars smile for the cameras, quarterbacks play it safe, and nobody really tries to take over the moment. That script did not survive contact with Shador Sanders. From the instant he stepped onto the field, it was clear this was not a vacation appearance for him. His body language said locked in, his pace said business, and his execution turned what should have been a casual all-star exhibition into a clear statement. Shedeur didn't come to blend in with the Pro Bowl atmosphere. He came to bend it around himself. Every snap felt deliberate. Every decision carried intent, and by the end of the day, the entire tone of the event had shifted because of how he played. What stood out immediately was his command. The huddle never felt rushed or scattered. It felt calm, controlled, and organized, the kind of presence you expect from a quarterback who has already owned an offense for years. The elite receivers bought in instantly, not because of reputation or hype, but because of how clean everything felt. Routes developed on time, spacing stayed sharp, the ball arrived exactly where it needed to be. Shedeur wasn't just completing passes, he was throwing receivers open, maximizing yards after the catch, and keeping the offense ahead of schedule. That is the kind of detail that separates participation from leadership, even in an all-star setting. His processing speed was the real separator. Pro Bowl defenses may not be going full throttle, but the athletes are still elite, and the windows still close fast. Shedeur consistently made the correct read without hesitation. When his first option wasn't there, there was no panic, no reset chaos. He slid in the pocket, kept his eyes downfield, and delivered strikes to secondary options like it was routine work. That level of mental clarity doesn't come from talent alone. It comes from preparation and confidence meeting at the right moment. Drive after drive, the completions stacked quietly, but the impact was loud. The offense flowed because the quarterback was always a step ahead. Then came the deep shots, and that's when the energy changed. Shedeur didn't hesitate to push the ball downfield. He trusted his receivers to win, and more importantly, he trusted himself to place the ball perfectly. The arcs were clean, the timing was precise, and the placement consistently landed where defenders had no chance. Those throws don't just excite the crowd, they alter how defenses behave. Safeties backed up, corners hesitated, receivers started calling for the ball. That's influence, that's presence, and it doesn't take long for everyone on the field to feel it. The chemistry was especially telling. These were not receivers Shedeur had spent seasons grinding with, yet the timing looked effortless. Slants hit on rhythm, comebacks snapped back to the ball, deep routes were thrown before receivers even turned their heads. That only happens when a quarterback understands leverage, anticipates movement, and trusts what he's seeing. You don't fake that connection, and you don't stumble into it by accident. It's preparation meeting opportunity in real time. Even in the red zone, where space tightens and mistakes are magnified, Shedeur stayed patient. He didn't force hero throws. He took what the defense gave him and punished every error with efficiency. Points came without chaos, and his stat line quietly began separating from everyone else. As the game progressed, the reactions around him told an even bigger story. Receivers were energized, coaches were nodding, opposing players showed respect between snaps. That kind of acknowledgement doesn't come easily at the Pro Bowl. It comes when a quarterback is clearly operating on a different frequency. Shedeur didn't look overwhelmed by the stage. He looked comfortable owning it. Every drive felt like a message, not about fun, but about belonging. This wasn't a cameo appearance. It was a declaration made in front of the league's best talent. When the game ended, the spotlight shifted to the interviews, and once again, Shedeur controlled the moment. His demeanor matched his performance, calm, confident, direct. There was no overhyping, no forced bravado. He spoke like someone who expected to play well and wasn't surprised by it. He emphasized the ease of working with elite receivers and how football intelligence accelerates chemistry. The way he talked about pre-snap communication, leverage, and trust sounded like veteran quarterback language. That caught attention quickly. Receivers backed it up. They spoke about how the ball placement made everything smoother and how adjustments between drives felt natural. Defensive players added their own respect, pointing to anticipation as the hardest thing to deal with. When defenders talk about timing instead of athleticism, it means the quarterback is winning mentally. Shedeur also addressed pressure with an ice-cold confidence, making it clear that pressure only exists when you're unsure of yourself. His entire performance reflected that belief. No rushing, no forcing, just control. What raised even more eyebrows was his approach to preparation. Even for the Pro Bowl, he treated it like real work, studying tendencies, talking through concepts, getting extra throws whenever possible. While others were there to relax, Shedeur made it clear that opportunities matter. When the league gives you a stage, you perform. That professionalism resonated throughout the weekend, and it showed in how teammates gravitated toward him. Leadership doesn't always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it's visible in who chooses to stand next to you when the cameras are rolling. Shedeur had that pull. As the reps piled up, the connection between Shedeur and the receivers became overwhelming for the defense. Timing, trust, and talent collided. He adjusted seamlessly to different receiver styles, feeding speed guys, physical targets, and technicians exactly how they needed the ball. Slot receivers carved up the middle, forcing defenders into impossible decisions. Once coverage tightened inside, the vertical game exploded. The deep shots were calculated, not forced, and they demoralized defenders with every completion. Defensive adjustments came quickly, and none of them worked. Press coverage only gave Shedeur clearer reads. Zone disguises were dismantled by patience and precision. Blitz attempts collapsed under his pocket movement and composure. With every failed adjustment, frustration grew. Communication intensified. Energy faded. Eventually, the defense shifted from aggression to damage control, choosing space over disruption. That's surrender in football language. Shedeur took whatever was available and kept the offense moving effortlessly. By the time the final whistle blew, there was no spin left to apply. This wasn't about one highlight. It was about total command. Against elite competition, Shedeur looked comfortable, composed, and consistently ahead. He shattered lazy narratives and forced a shift from potential to production. The Pro Bowl gave him a stage, and he didn't waste a second of it. This is how reputations change in the NFL. Not with talk, but with moments that stick. And this one is going to stick for a long time. If you enjoyed this deep breakdown, drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think this Pro Bowl performance changes how the league views Shador Sanders right now? Or is this just the beginning of something even bigger? Make sure to like the video if this analysis hit, subscribe for more high-level breakdowns like this one, and stay locked in because performances like this don't fade quietly.